This review is made possible by Gerald Kia in Naperville. Gerald's outstanding staff is ready to find the perfect car for you. Whether it be new or used, your next car is waiting for you at Gerald Kia.
Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 2022 Kia Forte GT2. Up front is a 1.6 liter turbocharged inline 4 and down below is a 7-speed dual clutch automatic transmission. Now I am super excited to be driving this here Kia Forte GT2 for a couple of reasons. One reason is the fact that I recently drove a Kia Forte GT in manual, and so I'll be doing some comparing and contrasting to that vehicle, and I just like the route that Kia is taking recently, and so I'm excited to drive another Kia product. Before we get on with the rest of the video, I have a website, zackpradel.com. If you'd like to buy some stickers, I have this retro sticker pack available. You can also submit your vehicle to be reviewed by me through a very easy submission form, or you could check out my blog for some behind the scenes stuff. But let's get back to this Kia Forte GT2. Well, up front is that 1.6 liter turbocharged inline 4 making 201 horsepower. That's nothing really too crazy. They've offered this engine on other vehicles. It's not something really new for just the Forte. However, I do like the fact that it is 201 horsepower. It's very adequate for this little car. But paired to it, more importantly, is that 7-speed dual clutch automatic transmission. It's very interesting that they give this little Forte a dual clutch transmission. However, Kia is known for giving the weirdest cars dual clutches. The new Sorento gets a dual clutch, but the Stinger doesn't get a dual clutch. Very weird choices by Kia. However, I'm here for it. But like I said at the top of the video, I did review a manual transmission Forte GT, and honestly, I would prefer that. I like rolling my own gears. I prefer a manual transmission, but I am pretty satisfied here with the dual clutch. If you do want an automatic, this is definitely a good one. Last but not least, of course, the Forte GT2 is front-wheel drive. Before we get on with the rest of the interior, or really start on the interior, let's talk about what comes in that GT2 package. So, Kia's naming is a little bit confusing. There's the GT line, which is just like some added cosmetic pieces to a regular Forte. Then there's the GT, which gets the 1.6 turbo, better suspension, Michelin sport tires, and makes it a more entertaining driver-oriented vehicle. That's where you actually get the performance mods, is in the GT class. Now this is the GT2, so take a regular GT, the 1.6 turbo, 7-speed dual clutch, 18-inch alloy wheels, and add multi-adjustable power driver seat, electronic parking brake, which is huge for me, forward collision avoidance assist, smart cruise with stop and go, heated and ventilated front seats, LED overhead interior lighting, parking distance warning, power sunroof with sunshade, Harman Kardon premium audio system, and Syntax seating material. Those last three, the power sunroof, Harman Kardon, and Syntax seating material, are also found on the regular GT, but part of the GT2 package, of course. So that's a nice hefty upgrade over the GT with that smart cruise radar cruise control essentially, which is tucked nice at the bottom of the bumper, doesn't even look obvious. As well as ventilated seats and a Forte isn't bad, and the GT2 package is about $2,200, making the overall MSRP $27,010, which you saw at the beginning of the video in my little red banner. So that's what you get in the GT2. It is an upper tier sport-oriented Kia Forte. But with that being said, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have two physical gauges. On the left is my tachometer and coolant temperature, and on the right is my speedometer and fuel. And then I get a little screen in the center giving me a bunch of information, of which I'll cycle through now. Nothing really too crazy, very typical Kia stuff. You'll find this screen in pretty much every Kia made, from the Sorento to the Stinger to the Telluride to the Rio. On the steering wheel on the left, I have my mode, volume, skip track, favorite, and phone options, and on the right I have my radar cruise control settings and my pages for that center little screen. As well as around the back, I do have paddle shifters, something that was obviously missing from the manual one that I drove. So if you'd like to paddle shift, you could do so. The paddles feel decent. They feel a little plasticky, but that's okay. The overall feel of the steering wheel I absolutely love. It's nice and thin. I love the perforated leather. I think it feels very, very sporty, which is good for the GT2. Off to the left of me, I do have my gauge dimmer switch, blind spot monitoring, and traction control off. And on the door, I have my power mirrors, power locks, and power windows. Moving into the center, I have the very regular, very traditional now. It's recently updated in about 2020, but very standard now Kia infotainment. I love this purple blue hue. I love that color on the apps. I do have Sounds of Nature, which is a cool feature. Basically lets you play ASMR throughout the cabin of your car. And it does have wired Apple CarPlay. Unfortunately, it is still wired here in 2022, but if you're watching this way after I posted it, I'd highly recommend looking to see if Kia offered a software update since the making of this video. They're supposed to, but no promises. And of course, we do have the backup camera. The backup camera is pretty solid. The lines move when you turn the steering wheel, which I like, but it's not the highest resolution thing I've ever seen. Moving down below that, I have my hazard switch and climate control vents. Then I have the climate controls themselves. Dual zone, which is very nice, but just regular fan speed, where to send it in temperature other than that. Moving towards the shifter, I do have a wireless charger for your phone, which is nice. However, you can't really use it too much because you still have to wire in for the CarPlay. And then I have two USBs, one to go into the radio, one to charge your device, as well as a 12-volt outlet, and a little cubby. Moving around the shifter, let's talk about the shifter itself. This is found in the Kia Soul, Kia Rio, pretty much every Kia made at this point, same style shifter, which is fine. But then off to the left and right, I do have some buttons. So off to the left, I have my heated and ventilated seats. Very, very nice to see ventilated seats in a Kia Forte, something that the Mazda 3 does not offer. I also have drive mode select. So the other GT that I drove that was manual only had 2 drive modes. This one has 3. So I have normal, sport, and smart. Smart will kind of learn your driving habits and figure out which is best for you. If you're an aggressive driver, it's going to keep you in sport more often. If you're a more calm driver, it's going to leave you in normal more often. Then off to the right of the shifter, I do have my passenger heated and ventilated seats, as well as my parking camera button. So moving below 5 miles an hour, you can toggle on the rear camera if you'd like to look, which is very, very nice. Moving on to the center console itself, I do have cup holders off to the right. So we will do a big freaking bottle test. And it's funny because I said in the other Forte GT that they use the same cup holders. These are actually different cup holders than the manual GT. However, they still don't fit the big friggin' bottle. Off to the left of those cup holders, this is where you'll find the power parking brake, which I'm not a big fan of power parking brakes. However, this means that I also get auto holding brake, something that wasn't available on the manual transmission GT that I drove. I love auto holding brake, one of my favorite features ever, and I really, really like it. Then I do get a center console, nothing really in there. And then we got to talk about the seats. The seats do say GT, they're finished in this Syntax fake black leather. However, I think that they're very comfortable. They're heated, ventilated, and power, which is pretty much anything I could want from a vehicle in this segment, and I love it. But speaking of seats, we do have back seats, so let's go do a back seat review. All right, so we're in the back of the Kia Forte GT2 from 2022, and honestly, I'm very, very impressed with the back seats. My knees are not hitting the seat in front of me, and this is my driving position. I didn't move it at all. My head, I can feel my hairs starting to touch the ceiling a little bit, but it's honestly not bad for a 5'11", not small guy. I actually fit back here, and that can't be said about the Mazda 3. My Mazda 3 can't be said about that. So this definitely has a better back seat than that. I do get a center console back here with 2 cup holders, and I do get LEDs from the factory, which is very nice up here. Nothing else really to write home about. I do have one seat back pocket over here, but that's really it. But other than that, nothing too crazy. Let's go take a quick look at the trunk, and then we'll talk about the looks. All right, so we're on the back of the GT2 Kia Forte. Little button right here, and it pops right up with almost no assistance. And once we are back here, I do get a spare tire, which is very, very nice. But other than that, nothing really to write home about. Tons of space back here, though. Really, really impressive amount of space for a little vehicle like this. I don't think you'd have really any issues fitting anything in here, and that's one of the big redeeming qualities of the Forte, just chassis in general. Even if you get a base model Kia Forte, it still has a great cargo space like this. Now we gotta talk about the looks. This is finished in Snow White Pearl, which is a $300 option, $295 really. And I overall like the look of the Forte. It was refreshed for 2022, and I like the look of it. I think it looks aggressive. I think it has definitely some very, very good angles here on the Forte GT2. I think overall it looks very sporty, and I'm very happy with it, and I think I'd be very proud to be seen driving one. But now let's get to my final thoughts here on the Kia Forte GT2. Well, to be blatantly honest, I would take the manual. I prefer driving the manual stick-shifted GT, and that's fine with me. I would take the no heated seats, the no auto-holding brake in order to have that manual transmission. I just prefer that. I don't know, that's just what I like. But here's why I like the GT2 so much, is because it is pretty loaded when it comes to a Kia Forte. And here's the thing, here's my honest opinion. If you are looking to buy a Kia Forte, I would highly recommend spending the extra money. The reason for that is that I own a 2019 Mazda 3 hatchback with all-wheel drive. Besides the all-wheel drive, that car is a base model. I didn't get the upgraded stereo, I didn't get the 360 camera, I didn't get the heated seats, I didn't get the sunroof. And I drive that car a lot. I've owned it for about 18 months, and I've put 43,000 miles on it. I drive everywhere for my work. And yes, getting the extra options would have added a couple bucks here and there on the monthly payment. But honestly, for someone who wants to keep their car forever, I wish I would have opted in for the heated seats. I wish I would have opted in for the 360 camera. I wish I would have opted in for the upgraded sound system for sure. And so my point being is that if you want a nice Kia Forte and you can afford the GT2, I think it's a solid package to get. You get that turbocharged inline 4, 201 horsepower. You get the heated and ventilated seats. You get the power adjustable seats. It just makes life easier. And so like I keep saying, if you can afford it, I would highly recommend seeking out the GT2. If you are scraping by and all you can afford is a base model Kia Forte, go for it. Do what will fit your budget. Don't stress yourself out financially just for some ventilated seats. But if you have the means, I'd highly recommend it. That's my advice to anyone buying a new car, or really even a used car, is get the highest spec that you really can if you plan on keeping it forever. If you lease cars for 2 years, put 5,000 miles on them and trade them in, sure, save the extra money. Don't get the GT2. But if you plan on keeping it, driving it, owning it for years and years, the GT2 is the way to go. 100%, and I'll stand by that. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Gerald Kia of Naperville for letting me take out their GT2. This is absolutely awesome. They also let me take out the manual GT, which was a fantastic car, and I will leave that video at the end of this one. If you'd like to cross-shop these two vehicles, I can't recommend Kia of Naperville enough. They are absolutely awesome. Their staff is fantastic. It really feels like going home when I walk into their dealership. I'm very comfortable working with them, and I've been working with them for quite some time now, and they have been nothing but the best. They offer a lifetime warranty on some of their vehicles as well, so there's really no reason not to visit them. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.